Are you limiting what you believe your business could be? I'm here with Brad Dahler. We're going to talk about how to do $100 million worth of transactions in your second year in the business. This is one you're not going to miss. All right, Brad, so I am excited to share this story with everybody because, this is one of the, I tell you this sometimes. I mean, obviously from the time that we met the first lunch before you were thinking about getting into real estate to where you are now here just a few years later with over $100 million in your second year in real estate of new pending contracts and things that have closed, and we're just in October. It's going to get even better. Let's think about this from a standpoint. Really, if there's somebody out there, I think a lot of times, no matter whether they're just starting the business or they've been in it for a while, with you, it started with the plan. Let's talk about what your mindset was when you were coming into the business, on what you wanted and what you anticipated, and maybe what you learned as you started going in this business.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it. When I decided I was going to stick with general and stay in general real estate sales for the long haul, hopefully, rest of my working days, I made the decision I want to run this like I was going out and buying a business or starting a business from the ground up. Not necessarily a real estate business, just start it like any business. If I were to go buy a restaurant, a gym, anything, what would I do? How would I treat that? The answer is I would invest in marketing, brand consistency, stay in front of people, maybe not put up a billboard in real estate, but do a lot of things, whether it be print, digital marketing. And I told myself, hey, if you're going to do this, especially now, really invest in that. And every transaction you have, every deal you close, set aside a certain percentage and just realize that money you're putting back into your business is just going to give you legs, give you the longevity for years to come.
What did you do percentage-wise? What were your thoughts when you were first starting? Was it 30%? What were you thinking?
Yeah, anywhere between 15 and 30% of a gross commission on closing a home. So anywhere between that, and I would, that's the answer. So anywhere between 15 and 30% of what my gross check would be. And then after that, I just,
Let's talk specifically because, sometimes, a lot of times, I remember you did everything. So what were some of the things that you did? And obviously, what was your process in evaluating whether it's successful and you continued it or you got rid of it?
Yeah, I wanted to give a lot of different vendors, might be the word, different avenues a chance, right? So I did a lot of research. I kind of treat, companies digital marketing companies, whether that be Yelp, Zillow, Realtor, a lot of them I haven't tried. I kind of hire slow and fire fast.
It's really good.
Hire slow and fire fast. There are a lot of contracts out there, but if you talk to the companies and you're not happy, you can part ways friendly. So I started out, I jumped into Realtor.com, Zillow.com. The Realtor Avenue wasn't the best for me, So I took some of the money I was spending there. I tell people I kind of played puppet master with my marketing dollars. And took the money I was spending there after 60, 90 days because I just didn't love it. It wasn't for me. Other people love it. It wasn't for me. Put some of that back into Zillow. Had a relationship with a Google pay-per-click company that was helping me with my Google exposure. Didn't work out the best with them, so now I'm with my second company. Been with them for over a year. Love them. Become friends with them. They're helping me. And then a lot of the areas that I'm farming in, I don't let one transaction go by where I don't heavily market that with a direct mailer, digital, e-blast in that neighborhood. The thing I don't talk about a lot, but I should, most of my marketing goes back into people that have done a transaction with me.
Good. Yeah. Right. Talk about that a little more, about what that looks like. Because, obviously when you're first starting out, you're just throwing spaghetti against the wall. Then you start seeing some things happening. But then it becomes about the relationship with the people. So talk a little more about that, because I think that's a critical point that some people miss. They stay in the transaction mode and they don't compound. You're compounding what you've been doing now.
Yeah, it's my favorite part. It's my favorite part of what I do is keeping in contact with people that have purchased a home with me or sold a home on the listing side with me. What I mean by keep in contact, I want them to genuinely feel it on the other end. Man, this guy really cares about keeping me up to date, right? It's very easy to send a market report through an e-blast, right? We could all do it. That's great. I try to take it next level, put something together that's very personal, very thought out, and keep them, I put together a quarterly magazine.
Right.
That's kind of my magazine that I send out to my clients, handwritten notes. I gift my clients, but not in a way to where it's, here's a gift, call me if you need anything.
Right.
It's for me, it's from the heart.
Yeah.
Right. I want them to know, wow, Brad just sent this because he cares about us. He's a good guy. He misses us. Yeah. Right. So that's the most fun part, is investing back into past clients. Yeah. Or current. They're still clients.
Yeah.
But that's the most fun.
Let's talk about that really practically, because I think sometimes everybody's different. I mean, I used to do some where I would do donations to their favorite charity in their name. Sometimes I would do certain things that I knew were important to them, whatever it was. If they were really into basketball, for instance, I would try to buy them tickets to whatever it was, the game, wherever they were. What are some of the things you've done specifically that really stood out to some of your clients? Is it all personalized, or is it kind of across the board what you're doing for people?
Number one, I've got more to learn than where I'm at this point. To answer your question, just a little cute fun story. This summer, I was like, man, I obviously, around the holidays, make sure my clients know I appreciate them and send them something. But why do I gotta wait for Christmas? We're 6 months into the year, so every one of my clients got a 6-pack pint of ice cream from Grader's Ice Cream in Memphis. Nothing to do with real estate sales. Just wanted them to know I'm at the beach thinking about them. It's the dog days of summer, so sent them that. The feedback, Facebook post, social media post I got from that, just, man, I should almost do it every month. It made me feel so good. Yeah. And then that magazine I was telling you about, I really peel back, well, you've been helping me, peel back the onion with the numbers, the data, and get it to them. That way they know where the market stands. And I want them to know where their investment is, right? In my mind, a stockbroker keeps his clients up to date on where their portfolio is. So how does that make me any different? Most of our people here are owners, are second home owners, or investment property owners. So I want them to know where their investment stands. Yeah,
so good. I mean, obviously you don't get to the numbers you're doing now also with, when you start, I mean, you work as hard as anybody I know, but there comes a point where you have to have some leverage. Let's talk about some of the initial hires that you made that really helped give you some leverage and maybe give you some of the time to spend the time with the clients and the things that you need to do.
Yep. So a fellow agent of mine, a dear friend, we've split a few support staff. We necessarily don't share our business together yet, but we're forming a team to where we share an in-house just for us two marketing coordinator, and that's important to me because I want that brand consistency, right? I want my mailers, my e-blast, my post. I want everything to be like, okay, that's the same guy. And then that's been great. So in-house marketing, she makes sure we're still in front of people at all times. And then obviously we've had a transaction coordinator from day one. That's been outsourced, but have our own in-house personal for us transaction coordinator, business operations, that has been phenomenal. So having that, it's an expense we already had by outsourcing, right? So why not bring it in-house? It was did an Indeed ad, and she's been a game changer. It's been, like I was telling you, being able to send a contract, send an offer, put in a listing when I'm on the fly. When you tell somebody you're going to do something, you want to do it in a timely manner, not later on that evening. So that's helped a lot with that. And it allows me to go generate more business.
I think sometimes people get so caught up and they maybe they hire the first person, it doesn't work out, and they stop. I mean, I think you're a perfect example. Sometimes, the first is not always the best, and so we kind of refine, and sometimes, as you mentioned, you get things where you get to that point, and now you're at a place where now you got really leverage that you're doing. So what are you excited about going forward? I mean, what do you love about this business? Obviously, you don't do the amount of business you do and treat people the way you do without a passion for people and for our business. What are you excited about right now?
I'm just excited to keep meeting agents from outside of our market and connecting with them for a referral source, and I can send them referrals and vice versa. But what my number one goal has always been to grow that list of people that have done a transaction with me and get them right here to where I can, get them in the nest, where I can take care of them, help them. It's a competitive market, right? Will every person that's ever sold a deal with me maybe use another agent? Maybe. My goal is to make, if my goal is to make sure that doesn't happen, I think it'll be good. Yeah. So to answer your question, just to grow that list of people that have done a transaction with me, take care of them, genuinely care about them, which I do, and just keep that friendship going forever.
Yeah, man, you do as well as anybody I know, making an impact on your clients and then having the influence to be able to go out and help them find the right place. So appreciate everything you do, Brad.
Thank you.
Listen, if you guys are looking for someone to send a referral down to Santa Rosa Beach 30A Market, Brad's your guy. We're gonna have all his contact info actually down bottom if you're reading this in the show notes, if you're listening to the podcast, and in the notes if we're on YouTube. So really appreciate you guys tuning in. Thanks, Brad, for everything you do.
Thanks,
we'll talk
Jimmy.
to you guys soon.
Thank you.
Thanks for watching the video. I specifically chose the video below for you because it builds on the one you just watched. I hope it's helpful, and I'll talk to you soon.